I mean, come on now. They take it too goddamn far. 2 tornadoes hit the city. Now they say Allah did this shit. They talking about Allah bringing down wrath on the city. That's taking it too goddamn far. That ain't no goddamn Allah. That's the HARP system in Alaska from your motherfucking government that's controlling and modifying the weather. There ain't no damn Allah. That's Mother Nature. Mother Nature was before Allah. Hell, you talking about Allah bringing down wrath on Chicago or bringing down wrath on a damn city. Allah ain't bringing down shit. How come Allah can't bring down wrath when y'all get shot down? Huh? How come Allah can't bring down the wrath when y'all being waterboarded by your own fucking government? Don't make no damn sense. You sound ignorant, you sound stupid. And as for the Moors as well too. Talking about some, we Moors. You see the black man on the dollar bill? That's a Moor on the $2 bill. So fucking what? You ain't got near $2 bill in your damn pocket. Talking about something that's a Moor on a $2 bill. What the hell does that got to do with you? You ain't got the damn currency in your pocket. Consciousness is energy. How do you know? Just think about this. That the same people that you are trying to root for when it comes to trying to be a lawyer or to be an attorney for their word and their reality, how do you know that they're not sucking your energy and your destiny so that they can actually exist on a higher plane so that you can exist on a lower plane? Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of the people who's running around talking about Farrakhan said this or Marcus Garvey said that, a lot of these people are shit out of luck. They can't even feed their families. You see, you have to be able to balance yourself in the illusion and in your reality. If you are running around saying that Marcus Garvey said this or Farrakhan said this, but at the end of the day, you ain't got shit and Farrakhan got something, then guess what? Farrakhan is benefiting off of your lack of understanding who you are. Because what Farrakhan say cannot identify who you are because he did not come out the same womb that you came out of. Everybody think that the fingerprint is something to identify you physically when it's not. This is a spiritual way of identifying what you are and who you are and where you come from. Every planet has its own fingerprint. It has its own way of thinking, meaning that it has its own consciousness. So this is why we all behave in a certain type of way when certain planets go into retrograde, because the fingerprints of most of us is connected to the fingerprints of various planets that we are connected to. So it affects us differently. We have side effects differently. Many of us hear ringing sounds. Many of us see shadows. Many of us can see things through our dreams and bring things out of our dreams mentally into the illusion to benefit us. This is what they do in the churches and the mosques. You don't think Farrakhan go to the Scottish Rite temples? You don't think Farrakhan go to the meetings with these people to gain intellect and take out what he want to take out and give you what he wants you to have? A lot of stuff that you all are telling me that I'm crazy for speaking, you don't think that Farrakhan and a lot of these people know this? They knew this. So, the concept of consciousness. Consciousness is what you are. So if I say this is right for the environment, then you can't run out here and say that because Osei Kufuor said that this is right for me. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for you. Everything that these so-called leaders teach is under a notion of leadership that was fed to them by a civil rights initiator that we call a government. A government is consciousness. So when we accept and digest the consciousness of a government, which is energy, then we accept and digest something that is giving us a negative reaction by way of how we are living and the way that we are thinking. This is why you cannot unite under yourself. I didn't say unite with your people, because you are not the people. You are yourself. You didn't come out of the womb or your mother's portal with the people. You came out by yourself. A lot of people say, well, that's cold-hearted. He don't want us to unite. You have to understand the science of self. Just that one concept of self has a science in itself. And you are that self. You are that self-consciousness. It is in your DNA. This is how you tap into certain things that you cannot see, but you are a part of. But since we are running around and we lack self-esteem, we are quick to attach labels and titles and names to ourselves, not knowing that the tree don't know that it's a tree. The bird don't know that it's a bird. But yet, It can still live in peace and harmony, and it can respect the laws of nature more than you and I. So why do you know that you're black? Why do you know that you're African? Why do you know that you are Moor? A lot of people running around talking about something. I'm changing my name. I don't want this English name. Well, how do you know that the name that you're changing to that African frequency wasn't set up by the same person who gave you the English frequency? Talk to me. I'm not going to hold back because I'm not here to rub nobody's asses. I'm here to give it to you straight, and I'm going to give it to you straight. Anybody that was placed before you as a leader, you better guarantee that they are invested in. You have to understand the psychology of the people at the top. They are going to invest in the things that you feel like is against them, that you feel is a threat to them. They allow these so-called leaders to talk about them. They allow these so-called leaders to come and do their marches. They allow these so-called organizations of leadership to be able to march with guns. Why? Because they are not a threat to them. And the reason why they are not a threat to them is because they are the one giving them the permission, just like they are giving them the permission to drive with a driver's license, and they are giving them the permission to work. But yet, we are sitting back saying black power and there's no power because you can't even construct or manifest any type of civilization in your own home. Talk to me. I've been gone for a minute, but bear with me. I'm back because I'm doing a lot of writing, and I'm only getting through off of 2 hours of sleep a night. But the ancestors are speaking to me. A lot of people say, well, if you are against the word black, then why do you use the Black Science TV 111? I'm going to answer that to you trolls. It's all in how you use black. A lot of people that's using black today is using it under the classification of the frequency and the spell that was given to them by their oppressor in this matrix. I use the word black because in another dimension, the numbers that make up the word and the frequency black is in jurisdiction to how I use it in my mental. My mental is what creates my environment. My mental is what creates my magic. So I'm not saying black for the same reason that you're saying black. I'm saying black for myself because that represents to me of someone who thinks for themselves. When you study the universe is void, but yet it has an energy there that helps itself to think for itself, and we are the thoughts that manifest through its consciousness for it to think for itself because we are the universe. And if you don't get what I'm saying, it's not for you. Move on to your kindergarten consciousness. Go on back to the history that the people gave to you and oppressed you through. Because we must understand and understand that consciousness is the body of the mind. And your mind is not Farrakhan's mind. Your mind is not Marcus Garvey's. You want to know why we always set up something, we never make it? You want to know why Black Wall Street didn't make it? Now, a lot of y'all might say, oh, he against it. No, I'm not against it. It's just that I awakened to see why it didn't happen the way that we wanted to. See, the thing is, we get all emotional. Well, we should be building another Black Wall Street. But yeah, you're going to build it under the same pretense that they built it, and you don't have no defense for it. A lot of us just want to have something to say that we got it, but we can't protect it. But the reason why a lot of these things did not manifest the way that we wanted it to manifest, because it was not our destiny. It was not our destiny. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this. Marcus Garvey is supposed to use that energy to manifest for himself and his family the things that he needed. And you're supposed to build and initiate and manifest the things for yourself that you need. All this energy that we use marching, shouting black power, we can use that energy to manifest things in our mind to make it exist. We create our environment in our mind. I was telling a queen the other day, she was asking me, well, how do you get away from your environment? I hate living in my state because there are a lot of dead people. You cannot force a conscious entity to wake up before it's time. Everybody have their own author, which I call destiny. So I don't have a say-so over saying, well, I'm trying to talk to my woman or talk to my man and wake them up. It's not you. Destiny allows them to awaken. Destiny is their time clock. Destiny is the time clock that woke you up, but you're a very individual destiny. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have to get out of trying to figure out why people is not where we are, because they didn't come out that womb with you. Again, their fingerprint is not set up like yours. Their expiration date to evolve into higher dimensions will not be on the same date that you evolved into these higher dimensions. And this is what you must understand, and understand. We are not here for each other. We are here to gravitate toward the consciousness of the mind of the people, that of the things, or the power that resides in these vehicles that I call bodies, to extract, download, and be on our way. We ain't here to play. We ain't here to be emotional. We ain't here to be crying and be broken down and be stressed under the physical pretenses or the physical appearance, or what you can have, or who's the best, or who can teach the best, or who got the biggest car. It ain't about that. Somebody was telling me, the city I live in is unconscious. This is why celebrities don't come here. God damn it, it's the celebrities who is assisting these entities at the top to bring in the smoke screen for the matrix. So why would you want celebrities in your city? Again, they don't pay these people millions of dollars just to get on TV and look like fools. They pay them to carry out a science that they don't even know that they're carrying out. They pay these people to carry out a science that they themselves don't even know about. You may think bouncing the ball up and down the court is something that helped us to evolve. Or you think that we're getting better because we got a black president. Or so-called, this is, again, you are living within the confounds of the matrix. This is nothing that's going to benefit you. I don't give a damn how many basketball players we have, how many tennis players, golf players, football players. This stuff is to keep us sidetracked from the true evolution of that which we are connected to outside of this realm. And until we see that, and until we know this, not believe, but know. Remember, words are spells. So whatever you say out of your mouth and whatever you adhere to from other people, you are accepting a spiritual contract to be placed under the spell of the frequencies in the word that they are communicating to you with. So now we must be aware, very aware, of how we say yes to people, or how we accept mentally the things that people are saying to us, because we don't know what resides within these bodies that's inside of these people that we feel is our family, or we feel as our best friends. Remember, vehicles can be taken over by certain things. You have to be careful who you trust. There is a lecture done by a man by the name of Peter Moon. He's a European. This is what we identified them on the third dimension. He's a European, and he's talking about a holographic library. A holographic library. And the way that he's explaining this library is on a third dimensional function. Now, I'm going to give you the real meaning of what a holographic library is, because the whole universe is a holographic library. The holographic library was just not in certain cultural areas that we call Africa or Europe or Russia and things like that. The holographic library is the whole universe. Now, when you study a star, every 9,000 years, a star produces records. And what is inside of a star? A star holds energy in which we call a soul. A soul carries memory, or it carries a story of events from where this soul has traveled from in many lifetimes, whether it's the present, the past, or the future. And every time a soul is recorded inside of a star every 9,000 years, this is what you call a holographic library of events. A library consists of what? Books. Books tell stories. You have stories that are real and stories that are fake. The difference between the stories that is recorded inside of the star is the stories that is being downloaded into the DNA of the star from these souls, from the events that these stars has been in, is true life stories. Some of them are fiction. Some of them are non-fiction, though. And the ones that is not real is the stories that's downloaded from the soul that has traveled through the illusionary events. So on a third dimensional plane, this is actually a fiction. This is a fiction portal or a fictional dimension. It's fake. Now, anything beyond the third dimension, past 4, is a non-fiction event or a non-fictional dimension. So the holographic libraries is the memories that we carry of the thoughts that we pick up through downloads of consciousness and intelligence from the constellations, which gives us the contracts to be distributed into these realms that we call dimensions. Now, you have two types of dimensions. You have a physical dimension, which is the body that you see when you are looking through your two physical eyes, when you are looking in a mirror. That's your physical dimension. This physical dimension is a physical umbilical cord to the spiritual dimension, which is your mind. Your mind is your spiritual dimension, which downloads or transfers intelligence from one celestial body to another. The celestial body is your mind being connected to the womb of the universe, which is the mother. The universe is the mother. She reproduces. She reproduces storylines, records, intelligence. And we are downloaded into these storylines. And from these storylines, we are transferred into a star in which we will be recorded and sent into another lifetime. So this is a holographic library. We are walking libraries. We don't have to really learn anything to know what we are and who we are. Again, everybody don't have the same truth. They have us all on a dimension searching for a truth that has no ability to liberate us spiritually, mind-wise. Every dimension which we are have our own blueprint that we are resonating on from one frequency into another. We create images of records, images of sound, images of notes that create storylines for us to go into to proceed once we leave from one body into another. A body ain't just something with two arms, two legs, 2 feet. A body can be a star, the sun, the moon. A body can be dark matter. Energy has a body. And the body of energy is the lowest common denominator of everybody that we exist and everybody that we know of. So right now we are living in other libraries. And these libraries are stars. Every star is a dimension. Every dimension is a timeline of a story that is being played out as an event. This is why we call ourselves star seeds. What is a seed? A seed is something that's being planted. While it's being planted, it is downloading water. It is being downloaded by light. Light is intelligence. Water is life. This is the yin and the yang. This is the feminine and masculine. This is your day and your night. This is your dark and your light. They are all oppositions of one another, but they are all in the same bloodline with one another because they come from the same intelligence. They all have a benefit to the evolution of the unknown. And the unknown is the reality, which is what you really look like. You are the reality. You are your truth. So what do we all look like? We have our own truth. So we have our own image of truth and reality. See, what we fail to realize that there are different types of holograms. You have holograms that is pitched from the same dimension that you are so-called existed in. And there are holograms that exist that can peek in from other dimensions by way of your subconscious. This is why you say, I see different numbers. This is why you see, I see certain things in my room at night. I'm seeing different figures moving around my bed at night. This is because these things exist, but they are in other dimensions. And they are being pitched by way of a hologram through your subconscious because your subconscious is a projector that can pitch through dimensions or can stumble into other dimensions and project the reality of these certain types of holograms into the dimensions where you so-called exist. So when we are talking about libraries or holographic libraries, yes, there are ancestors pitching or projecting holographic information and intelligence through certain dimensions into our subconscious through certain bloodlines. So the Dogon tribe, even at that time, there were other tribes that could not see the same thing that the Dogon tribe could see. But because the Dogon tribe were in certain communications as far as their DNA, they had certain communications in their DNA that was activating, they were able to pitch into other dimensions and bring back information that people from that dimension could not see. Do you get what I'm saying? So the holographic libraries are movable as well. The stars are movable. And then you have stars that are immovable, meaning that they don't move. The stars that move are feminine stars. These stars line up grids and blueprints. What they do is when they move and they create a ritual. They doing chants to allow the star that can't move, which is the masculine energy, to exist. So it is projecting defense, and abilities and stability for the star that can't move to exist. Everything that's projected outside of you is going on inside of you. So same thing when you're in the womb for 9 months. You are inside of a library being downloaded by information, holographic information. What is the holographic information? Something that's coming from the DNA of the mind of the body that you are in. So therefore, there are grids and blueprints being set up in that fetus. And that fetus is being protected. It is being given stability and defense and nurturing within those 9 months by way of a holographic image, which is a thought. A thought is an image and it is shaped by emotions. So the person that is carrying the fetus or the baby or the life, depending on the emotions, it will affect that child by way of the holographic distribution of that thought. Do you get what I'm saying?